Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Today, can you marry this person in the Lord? We're going to be looking at a passage from Deuteronomy chapter 25 called Levirate marriage. It's a Latin term for brother-in-law. And don't worry, the law doesn't apply today. We'll get to that at the end. Listen in here. This is Deuteronomy 25, chapter 25, verse 5. If brothers dwell together and one of them dies and has no son, the wife of the dead man shall not be married outside the family to a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go into her and take her as wife and perform the duty of a husband's brother to her. And the first son whom she bears shall succeed to the name of his dead brother, that his name may not be blotted out of Israel. And if the man does not wish to take his brother's wife, then his brother's wife shall go up to the gate of the elders and say, My husband's brother refuses to perpetuate his brother's name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of a husband's brother to me. Then the elders of the city shall call him and speak to him, and if he persists, saying, I do not wish to take her, then his brother's wife shall go up to him in the presence of the elders, pull off his sandal, spit in his face, and she shall answer and say, So shall it be done to the man who does not build up his brother's house. And the name of his house shall be called in Israel, the house of him who had his sandal pulled off. All right, so this whole picture here, the purpose is to protect the widow and that the name of the dead brother, that his name is not blotted out. And it's a case where polygamy might actually be allowed in this circumstances. How is that? Well, the surviving brother may already be married. So let's talk about the protection first. So the alternatives to a remarriage within the family are generally not good. Possibly she could get remarried outside the family, but sexual impropriety, prostitution, even starvation, it was a big risk, as this was the method of providership was marriage. So these backdrops make the practice maybe just a little bit more understandable and may give us insight into the desires of God. So this guy is given the opportunity, especially in light of these risks and even perils that the widow faces, and the obligations of family and the opportunity to family providership. So he's given the opportunity to perpetuate the brother's name in Israel and protect and provide for this widow. So it kind of echoes the idea of this kinsman redeemer, the themes that are in the book of Ruth. But if he does persist in not wanting to take her, he gets a choice in this. It's not an absolute requirement. He's not forced to marry her. But there are some penalties. His sandal gets pulled off, he gets spit in his face, and he gets a new label. So let's just talk about why not marry your brother's wife. Why would you not want to do this? Two are sinful. First of all, let's say you're just still mad at your brother and you don't wish to build up his house. So brothers can be rivals, and not every brother wishes the best for his brother. So this could be sin on the surviving brother's part. I never liked my brother, and I'm not going to be kind to him or his spouse after death. So that would be sin. Second thing, also sinful, is you don't want the expense. So with the wife goes commitment and providership. So there always has been and remains to this day a connection between marriage and provision, and between sexual union and ongoing financial commitment. In short, with sex comes responsibility. It's something we already know, but it bears reinforcement in the story. And then thirdly is you just don't choose to marry her. Maybe you honestly don't have an affection for her, or even enough to fulfill a covenantal responsibility, and you wish to kind of spare her your grouchy non-affection. And that could be done, I suppose, in a holy way. But there will be a price to the title on your head, the house of him who had his sandal pulled off. All right, so overarching here is this commitment to family, and there's a bit of a light bulb in this hour of Israel's history. It doesn't apply for all time, that the woman your brother chooses to marry is a person that you actually have some potential and very unique potential commitments to. I think it illustrates the Lord's provision for caring for the widows and the importance of carrying on a name. So I suppose this picture the Lord's provision for us. All right, so is this a law for today? That's the bottom line that you all want to know, and the answer is no. That's from 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 39. And Paul is saying a wife is bound to her husband as long as he lives. So marriage is supposed to be for life. But if her husband dies, she is free to be married to whom she wishes, except for this, only in the Lord. So here's the New Testament teaching. A wife is bound to her husband until death, and vice versa. And after the death of that spouse, she's free. She is free to marry whom she wishes, sort of. There's a restriction here. And what is? It's to get this main thing right, and that is only in the Lord. And if you cannot marry this person before the Lord and in the Lord, then do not marry this person. So if they're not a real believer, then you will not be able to share this fundamental, foundational, bedrock part of your life, what Christ has done for you. It's a worldview that a Christian is commanded to share, at least as far as it depends on you. So here's the exception. If two married non-Christians, and then one of them becomes a Christian, they're to stay married. And the believer is supposed to influence the non-believer, hopefully, into faith. So I think it's a fair question for those who are marrying a second time. And let's end with this. Is this a marriage in the Lord? It's the one-stop shop of a question. So it presupposes, are you in the Lord? Is the potential spouse in the Lord? And then probably the third thing is, are you at liberty even to marry? So I think in conclusion, I think a good ending point would be, can you marry this person in the Lord? Thanks for listening.